Before I even get into this, I was debating on even if I even wanted to do this video. Because of the possible backlash. um, Let me get this out of the way. I hate the Sonic Boom sub-series. I hate the cartoon, and I hate the 3DS game, but there is one thing I'm willing to forgive about the Boom sub-series. It's the one thing that everyone likes to point out. The one game everyone calls out. The one game that people say is worse than Sonic 06. You know what I'm talking about. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Now, where do I begin with Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric? For me, I rather enjoy the game. Technically, I don't own the game, but I've watched the story online, I've seen some, walkthroughs, and I've played a demo at a GameStop once. It felt like a fun game. But everyone just likes to take the biggest, meanest dump on this game because it's broken and it's glitchy like Sonic 06. Well, a lot of people tend to overlook a few things with this game. And, with this, I'm gonna try and... I don't know if this is gonna wind up being like a little series on my channel. But welcome to what I guess would be the first part of something I want to call In Defense of Rise of Lyric. So, what is one of the biggest problems with Rise of Lyric? You would say the glitches. Which I understand, yeah, glitches are a problem with Sonic 06. You don't want... with Rise of Lyric, you don't want a Sonic game to wind up like Cheetah Men 2 or E.T. on Atari. But people usually like to point fingers and said, it's unfinished. That's why it's all glitchy. It's like, no. 'Cause let me tell you the story of why Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is the way that it is. When it all started out, there was a company called Big Red Button. They really haven't worked on any games. Unless you count, some of the employees that used to work for Naughty Dog, who made, games like Crash Bandicoot and Uncharted. So, also, again, this is another unscripted video, so if I stutter and stammer, my apologies. Eventually, they pitched an idea to SEGA Big Red Button, but it was like, you know what, we like what you're trying to do here. We want you to make the next Sonic game for us, for our little sub-series. So, they were given the green light to work on Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, otherwise known as Sonic Synergy, when I guess it was in production. So, in production, we are to assume that originally Rise of Lyric, or Sonic Synergy, was planned to be for next-gen hardware, because that's what Big Red Button was led to believe. And I assume next-gen hardware means Xbox One, PS4, and PC. But unfortunately, due to a 3-game contract that Sega was in with Nintendo, halfway through production, it was either Nintendo or Sega, I don't remember which. They walked in, it's like, we like what you're doing, but you need to port everything over to the Wii U for this exclusivity deal. And so, that kind of already screwed them over, because the game was almost done, and they had to port everything over to the Wii U, which was very problematic because, CryEngine 3 is not natively compatible with the Wii U. So, and with there being memory limitations, and... So, they had to have people from Crytek and Nintendo help so that the game would at least be playable within the Wii U's limitations. And, what we got in the end was what we got now. Now, would the game have been better if it hadn't been on the Wii U? Probably. But, Nintendo and Sega, stupid contracts and the sorts. Uh, I mean, it was an interesting idea. I mean, what it tried to do with Rise of Lyric, they managed to cobble up a like amalgamation of like the best Sonic games. We got the hub worlds from like games like Adventure 1, '06, and Unleashed. We got some combat kind of going on, sort of akin to the Werehog in a weird way. We got the speed sections, which I guess are akin to the speed sections of Lost World and '06 again. It was just this big thing. And that's pretty much it for this part. In the next part, we're going to discuss the story. And this is another thing people like to shit on.